I'm here in Detroit at the North American International Auto Show. With me is Paul Ingrassia, the #2 editor for Reuters globally. He is a Pulitzer Prize winning automotive reporter. You've got a book coming out, Engines of Change, comes out in May. It's a fun read. I got to see it ahead of time, which was great. You're a car guy, let's face it.
I'm a car guy.
This is your claim to fame. You love this stuff.
I'm in heaven here at the auto show, Rhonda. It's always great to see all the new stuff and what it means, what the different companies are trying to do. And here's a great example, actually. This is the new Cadillac ATS, which goes on sale later this year, this summer sometime. It's really sort of like GM's latest chapter in the quest for the company's great white whale, if you will, and that is a successful small Cadillac. The first one was introduced in 1985 with Cadillac Cimarron. It was a rebadged Chevrolet. It was a disaster. A decade or so later came the Cadillac Catera, a rebadged Opel, another disaster. This one is different. It is new from the ground up. It is tested for performance on the Germany's Nürburgring track. And basically, Cadillac has come out and directly said, this is our car aimed directly at the BMW 3 Series.
Well,
it's a
does
big
that work?
Leap.
Yeah, I mean, can they do that?
Well, that remains to be seen. It's a tough slog. Certainly the people at BMW don't take it seriously. As Mark Reuss, who's the president of GM North America, admitted, this is also, a car represents a major business initiative because Cadillac is not a global luxury brand. You know, BMW, Mercedes, and to some extent Lexus are the only true mass market global luxury brands. Cadillac would love to get into that game, but it's still really sort of stuck in America. So this is a lot riding on this car.
This is a Dodge Dart, and I got to tell you what's interesting. It's roomy, right? You're a tall guy. I don't really feel like we're having trouble in a compact car, so that's interesting, and the inside is pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, you know, this is a very important car for Chrysler because Chrysler has had nothing at all competitive in the basic subcompact car segment. So you've had the Toyota Corolla, you've had the Honda Civic, and Chrysler's just been out of that ball game. So now they're coming with the Dodge Dart, which is based on Fiat architecture, one. Number two, it revives an iconic American name from the 60s and the 70s that people of a certain age remember the Dodge Dart as one of those classic bread and butter cars. What's really interesting about this car is if you feel, it's not only roomy inside, but if you just feel the materials, some of the plastic is soft touch plastic, so it doesn't have a real cheap feel inside. Also, the Accord and the Corolla and the Civic were really criticized for being too bland, not stylish enough, at a time when styling is really getting back into vogue. This car has a real muscular look inside and out. Don't you think?
What does that mean? But what does that mean, a muscular look? You
know, if you look at the front face, it's a little bit more of a growl instead of a smile. If you look in the interior, it's more of a cockpit look. You know, it's sort of you're on the quasi test track look. I mean, not really.
Right.
But it's just that sort of look and feel of something that's more performance oriented, more expressive.
I want to see you literally kick the tires, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do, is kick the tires. I want to see how it's done.
Okay, great.
Kick the tires like a car expert.
Okay, the proper tire kicking technique is done with the inside of your foot, not with the toe of your foot, because you don't want to hurt your toe, right? So you...
Is this for real?
It's a very firm tire.
Paul, earlier we talked with Alan Mulally, CEO of Ford. This is the car that he wanted to talk about.
Well, that's very understandable, Rhonda. This is the 2013 Ford Fusion. It's their new midsize family sedan, the new version of their midsize family sedan, aimed right at the heart of the market. This is the midsize car that they hope will help them combat the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord, which really have dominated this segment of the market for most of the last 20 years. But along with the Hyundai Sonata, that has really come in the last few years and has been a major factor. What Ford is doing here, it's really moving away from the sort of the more bland, plain vanilla styling that Camry and Accord have done, but taking more of a Sonata approach, if you will, sort of more stylized look. So you'll see it's a sort of a tight, compact look in the rear. You'll see the crease, the high belt line there, which is accented by the door handles, and the narrow window look, which is again a more performance-oriented expressive look for this car.
So this is always a big deal at the auto show, the winner of the car of the year, and we are standing right in front of it. Bit of a surprise too, right?
A little bit of a surprise, Rhonda. This is the Hyundai Elantra. It was voted car of the year by a large group of journalists who come in to cover this show. So it's a pretty competitive poll. And this is a car that's really aimed again at that subcompact level. It's really aimed, the Dodge Dart we just talked about will be fighting against this car. The Honda Civic will be fighting against this car. But again, what Hyundai is really all about, it's sort of the anti-BMW. BMW is all about an understated look with a lot of technology under the hood and in the cockpit. Hyundai's more about expressive styling and offering a lot of styling at a fairly low cost. This is the new Acura NSX, a prototype actually, because it's going to take 3 years to develop, Rhonda. The NSX was Honda's first. Acura NSX was its first supercar, the high-performance, high-price sports car. It went out of production in 2005. It's going to be back in 3 years, and there's three things that are important about this car. First of all, Acura really needs some pizzazz. It doesn't have that cachet of BMW or Mercedes-Benz, so they really need to get some pizzazz back in their product lineup. The second thing is, this new Acura supercar is going to be a hybrid. It's a dual twin torque hybrid and that sort of thing, which has some really advanced hybrid technology. Delivers power to the rear wheels and to the front wheels. Really makes the car go. The third thing is this vehicle is going to be assembled and developed in the United States, which is a big marketing statement for Honda. And it also shows you just how very difficult it is to make cars in Japan and make them profitable because the value of the yen has really surged against the US dollar.
Paul, thanks so much for showing me all the cars at the auto show. It's been a lot of fun, and to thank you, I wanted to get you a car of your own from the show.
This is it?
This is it.
I was kind of hoping for a Bentley, Ron, but I don't think I'm going to work with you again.